Yo, you know what? Let me call out some people. Easy, let me call out some people.
We on
Cause I
two
was watching.
different we on two different spectrums right now. I gotta focus on playing my best and being the best player I can for the team, and obviously situations are different. So, I and I know he puts his all into these games and these Final Four games, but it's just a little bit different, because you don't know what could happen. So I just go here, enjoy my day, work hard, do everything I can, and if I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, I'm not. Like it's nothing in my control, so I try to control what I can control. That's going out there, making the right reads, going out there, doing the right things, being the person I am, and things will fall how they supposed to.
Control what I can control, dog. That's what I took from that immediately.
Yeah, man. Once again, man, just maturity on display, ready for the moment on display. No moment is too big on display. Not only says the right things, but does the right things. Just knows what is important, and that is be where your feet are. What's going
Mm-hmm.
to happen this off season or next fall. None of that matters because the way to make it matter is how you handle what you're doing right now. And so he knows, be where your feet are, be present, be in this moment. Don't be thinking ahead. And that's the same thing even during the game. You can't play the fourth quarter in the first quarter. You can't
Yeah.
play in the second. You got to take this series right here and make happen what you can make happen. And you can see, man, just his poise and comfort and his reads are getting better because everything is catching up mentally with the speed of the game. He's seeing the game because he's more comfortable in the game. And that's just three in, So when this brother gets him an off season where he's working out with his receivers on his own, and then can show up to OTAs and work out with the ones, and then goes through a summer a camp and working with the ones. And people are really going to see and understand what I told people in Colorado they were going to see and understand by week 4. You're gonna know why his name is up there on that building.
Yes, indeed.
You're
Like
gonna know.
like Coach Prime say, son, make sure they remember your name, dog. And he even made a comment also about having Coach Prime about the expectations of his father, of course, Coach Prime. And here's what Chickadee Shedeur Sanders had to say.
Well, you got like during the game and everything. I always hear his voice. Like in my ear. I'm like in certain situations, certain everything. Like in a lot of situations, and I know his expectation for me. His expectation for me is the highest than anybody is. So that's where playing for him my whole life made it easier to come and play anywhere else because his expectation, what he has done for himself, even being a player where he understands quarterbacks and everything. So, um, yeah, he definitely, is hard and definitely hard on me. Definitely tell me, get completions. Definitely tell me things like a recap of things, that I need to do better.
We talked about that last show about how important strong fathers are and how important Coach Prime has been in the life of his son, Shedeur Sanders, and molded him into that quarterback that he is today. Any comments, thoughts on that? Those comments right there from Shedeur.
Yeah, I want to peel just a little deeper on it.
Okay.
One of the greatest defense attorneys that the modern legal system ever witnessed was a guy by the name of Johnny Cochran.
That's right.
People forget that Johnny Cochran's first part of his career, he spent in the LA prosecutor's office.
Mm.
Neely, what the hell they got to do with football? What you talking about? Well, let me tell you, glad you asked. If you are Shedeur Sanders, your son, and your daddy is the greatest cornerback that ever played, and he's coaching you, you don't think he giving you tips on how to beat cornerbacks and safeties?
And what to look for?
So when he tells Shedeur, hey man, I'm telling you, it's 3rd and 6. You might not want to take that 22-yard pass, take that 7-yard pass. I think he know what he's talking about. Because a guy like him gonna be all over that 22-yard pass.
Mm-hmm.
And so here you have a young man who's been taught the offensive side of the ball by one of the greatest defensive players ever played, clearly the greatest cornerback, greatest player in the secondary has ever played. So I
Right.
just love the synergy of that because a lot of times, even when it was watching Trinity play and Coach Prime was offense coordinator, like, man, what Prime know about offense? It's because he knows defense. That's why he knows offense.
And if you look at any of the best whatever positions, a lot of times they've played other positions. Like Coach Prime would tell you, he played quarterback when he was a youngster.
Mm-hmm.
That gives him an understanding of offense also. It might not be an NFL quarterback, but he still understands the game from a different perspective, which gives him a certain type of insight or advantage when he's playing his other position. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when in basketball, when Anthony, you see a big man that has some handles, it's because he was shorter and he had to play a guard position first, and then he grew. He grew in height, but he still has those handles. Now he understands
And
how to
it's why the
facilitate as a big
international
man.
it's why the international players come over here can do it all because they do it all regardless of height.
Same damn
They're
thing.
not
Yep.
they're not taught a position based on their physical size. They're taught how to play basketball.
Unlike us, like
Yeah,
because I was
if
the
you're big,
biggest.
you get down in the paint.
Yeah, I was the biggest 5'2" kid, so I played center. Like, what we
Yeah.
doing? I'm supposed to be doing
And
dribbling
three
drills.
years
I
and
shoot
3
jump
years
hook.
later, when you 5'8", you dribbling off your foot because nobody taught you how
Yeah,
to dribble.
right. It's a fact though. You know, I'm glad I played guard though, so I got them handles.
Boy.
Yo, you know what? Let me call out some people. Easy, let me call out some people. Because I was watching last night. Why you shake your head already, dog?
Because
I
I
was
don't know
watching
where the
last
hell
night.
this is going.
I know you don't. I know you don't. Just trust your dog. Let me drive. You get in the passenger seat. Just trust your dog. You gonna ride with me, right?
Chico, let me tell you what
Are
this.
you gonna pop out?
Now, Chico, I'm gonna ride with you, but for my mental health, I'm gonna go to sleep. I
Well, you
can't,
ain't helping me
I,
then. You gotta get out the car.
I can't see the way you drive. I'll be over here matching that imaginary brake on the passenger side.
Well, we going to the neighborhood of Uncle Nam Ocho and all the podcasts out there in the world. They called everybody out last night. They talked about the podcast Olympics. And I said, they call what other podcasts we mentioned missing Ocho? Oh, we got All the Smoke. We got the Pivot. We got Joe and Jada, Joe Budden. We calling out everybody, Ocho. 85 South, Carlos, DC, Chico. Boy, they said Chico, the chat started putting up in there, Unc and Chico. Unc and Chico. I saw it in the chat, Unc. We got some runners that represent for us, Unc. You hear what I'm saying on Nightcap? So they called out all the other podcasts and didn't mention our name.
Well, they sure be using our clips because every time we drop a Wednesday with Warren, they used to show steal it. Well, I ain't gonna say steal it because they
But
would
we
get.
calling out y'all. Y'all ain't gonna invite us to the party. We coming to crash that mofo then. Podcast Olympics, we there. Runners, mount up. Anytime they mention a podcast Olympic on their show, y'all make sure y'all hashtag Unc and Chico. That's all I had to say about that. Unc, all you got to do is box out. You know, whether we playing marbles, golf, shooting baskets, archery, whatever we doing, Unc, we got to make sure we on top of game, baby. We ready.
I thought you'd be the guy who volunteered to box out. Honestly.
We got to box out.
Yeah,
Well, you got to take Shannon. Uncle Shay Shay don't have great hips anymore. You know, he got them 2 hip replacements. Ocho got 2 new hips. So you take him. I'm gonna take little thin ass Ocho, and I got it. We good to go. Anyways, let's go back to the regular schedule program. All I need Unc to do is shoot out the car as I ride through. Runners, y'all mount up every time y'all see him. Mention that y'all get up in the chat.